Welcome to The Leadership, a business-focused talk show brought to you by the Vested Group.
We talk to entrepreneurs, employees, thought leaders, innovators, dreamers, disruptors,
and even our own children about what makes us tick on and off the clock.
Welcome to this edition of the Leadership Podcast brought to you by the Vested Group. You can find out more about us at thevested.com. My name is Hillary Patterson, and this is my lovely co-host, Johnny Zielinski. And today we have Mike Pope with us, the nicest person on the planet.
Let's start off with that one.
I know, we're just going to lay it out there. Well, you and Niraj can battle for the title, I guess, but I think that's safe.
Nicest fight ever.
Mm-hmm, yeah, exactly. Out nice each other. So, Mike, we like to always start at the beginning. How did you find your way to TVG?
So, actually back in 2014, I was working as a COO of a telecommunications technology distribution and services business that was based here in Dallas. And we were looking to replace our ERP system with a cloud-based system. And our CFO had done a lot of research, and we had settled on NetSuite for that. And then we started researching local solution partners, and that's where we were introduced to the Vested Group in 2014. I left that company a couple of years later, started doing independent consulting, and got reacquainted with the Vested Group through our Chief of Staff, Jennifer, who were longtime personal friends. And so in late 2017, I joined the Vested Group as a senior manager.
You must have been early in the process. 2014 was early in the TVG days, so
yeah.
That is way back, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was from conversation with Joel and Jennifer, had coffee with them, and then actually was working for the Vested Group a week later. So.
Wow.
Did you know anybody besides Jennifer before you started?
Other than Joel and a few of the people that were with the Vested Group in 2014 when we initially engaged with them as a client. So
I feel like there's so many people at the Vested Group that just know each other. You know, like obviously networking is always big for any company, but like there's so many of us knew each other at some point. You know, the connections are cool. Yeah. So tell us about your family, Mike. Your siblings, parents, and where did you grow up?
So I have one brother, older brother, and born and raised in Texas. And spent most of my life here in the Dallas area, a couple of times out in West Texas, but and was born in Central Texas, but native Texan. So.
Right.
That's a good thing. Wait, but your thing is grandkids. You have to throw those in.
Yeah. What's how many grandkids you got?
So we have 5 children, and last count, I think we have 13 grandchildren. So.
That is definitely the light of your life. We've all seen the grandkid pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a great season of life for sure.
And yes, grandchildren better than children, I've heard.
It's busy come Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly. That same gift for everybody. Okay, so this is probably a good one for you too. So how would your wife or your parents, what would they say that you did for a job?
Yeah, both my parents are in their 80s and just very blessed to still have them with us. My dad worked for a telecommunications, large telecom, for most of his professional career. So, he understands technology. And my mom, they've always been very supportive of my career. And so I think they somewhat understand what we do. But when I moved from the company I was with and started doing independent consulting, I just remember my dad, when I told him what I was going to do, he just looked at me and said, "So you're going to be able to tell people what time it is with their own watch." So I'm not sure he had great experiences with consultants.
That's great. That is a great answer. I love that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's really good. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's definitely going to make the rounds again. So what would you say you do at the Vested Group?
So at the Vested Group, we implement NetSuite ERP systems for clients. We also support those implementations in post go live support, and just really help solve business and provide business solutions for our clients.
Fair enough. Why do you come to work, Mike? What gets you to the office in the morning?
You know, I've been very blessed with in my career to have a lot of different work experiences in different industries, starting with like process control automation and moving into manufacturing, software development, distribution, professional services. And, you know, in each of those experiences, it was always just something almost brand new to me. And there was just a lot of learning, ongoing learning. And I think what really motivates me to come to work is just that opportunity to learn. And part of what I love about the Vested Group is just the variety of clients and industries that we get to participate in. And every one of those, clients that we engage with, I'm always learning something about their business, and so it's. I think learning is really kind of what really motivates me.
It's funny, like you find out about businesses, you're like, I never even thought about that, or that you could do that kind of stuff, and so it is fun just to have the diversity.
Absolutely, yeah. Just like a complete like rainbow of clients. I just I know I've worked everything from like healthcare to like somebody that like helps sell shoes in shoe stores across the nation. So it's just like totally random where we're going to be put next. So that is fun. I like that answer.
That is kind of exciting. The variety of life. So if you go back a little bit farther, when you were a kid, what did you want to do?
So, growing up, I certainly was into sports, and Roger Staubach was my hero. But I would say that actually what I wanted to do was be a pastor.
Okay.
I've always been very active in my Christian faith, and even today, some of the men and women that I admire the most and probably who have helped me the most are pastors. So that's kind of what I always wanted to do when I was a kid.
That is a first.
So yeah, it is. So you joined the one other person that didn't want to be a doctor or an athlete. I can't remember who it was, but they wanted to be a marine biologist. So you joined the ranks of them and not falling in with a doctor or an athlete. So congratulations.
Thanks.
On a unique answer.
Absolutely.
So you wanted to be a pastor. What is your favorite workplace tradition at the Vested Group so far?
So I am a big foodie, so I do like it when we have like the chili cook-offs and all. But one of the more recent, traditions that we had to pause on during the pandemic was Jose the Handyman, and I was super excited to see the email that we're going to re-engage with Jose the Handyman, and being able to have someone that's really good at what they do help us fix a few things around the house. So, but I think from a culture standpoint, one thing that I appreciate so much about the Vested Group is just the use of different types of business coaches. And so we, as a leadership team, we have a coach, business coach, Petra, that works with us on our quarterly planning. We have Heidi for our Strengths Finder coach that we get to engage with on a monthly basis, and I know Dr. Jane that several have gone through some of the professional development coaching with her. It's just so the use of coaches is not just that it's something that's a fad, but it's something that we really gain value out of. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is true. Lots of different diverse customers, diverse coaching.
Jose, yeah, I was excited to see that email as well. For those of you watching, to elaborate on that, Jose is one of our awesome people at the Vested Group, and the Vested Group actually allows us to borrow his super amazing talents. And he comes around to different people's homes and helps them with things that they don't know how to do, whether it's, I think electrical and drywall, and he actually helped me build a outdoor patio couch. So like, it feels like there's nothing he can't do. So just really cool, and we're really lucky to have him.
yes.
Yeah, he saved us all a little bit over time. Okay, what do you wish that people knew about you?
I don't know if it's maybe what I wish they knew about me, but it's kind of what I want to be remembered for. So when I have engaged with people, what they would remember me. And I heard a speaker several years ago talk about being a good ancestor, and I really thought a lot about that, and in that he encouraged you to kind of develop a life plan, and so I did. I really captured a life plan a few years ago, and what I would want to be remembered for when either after engaging with someone is someone that is grateful, and someone that is generous, and someone that is always extending grace in any situation. So that's kind of my life plan there.
That's a good answer.
That's a great answer.
It does go along with the nicest person ever, so I think you're nailing it, I think.
I think people walk away with that, Mike, though, so that's,
Yeah.
you're doing well.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're not at work, what do you like to do?
So recreationally, I really like to play golf. I'm not good at it, but just love playing golf. But I also really love to cook, and so do that quite often. And my family, when the kids and grandkids come over, it's always what is Grandpa cooking?
Are you a baker, or are you?
No,
he does it all.
Grilling and cooking. My wife does baking, and she's really good at it. I don't even try to touch baking. So
We flew to New Jersey together for a project, and I think I came back from that trip. We were there like 3 or 4 days, and I came back with 50 different things I wanted to try to cook that you told me about.
What's your most famous dish?
yeah, it's Grandpa's spaghetti. So that's
Comfort food.
That is the fan favorite. So.
And you make it's like a meat sauce, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that. You have to talk to them. I don't know if you want to give your secrets away to everybody on YouTube, but maybe you
Hit
can
you up
divulge
later.
Hillary. Yeah.
On the side. That seems reasonable. Okay, so another question too. What is the funniest thing that's happened to you recently?
I don't know if funny. It's people laugh at me, so maybe that's funny. And it has to do with when family, when they come over, it gets pretty noisy with that many folks around. And I'm not always good at hearing all the conversations, especially when there's multiple conversations going on. And I know recently when all the kids were over, we were out by the fire pit, and I'll periodically actually ask a question or make a comment on something that they had just talked about. And they laugh at me for doing that. So, but I think I can get the last laugh because I still can edit the will. So they just better watch out what they laugh at.
Someday they'll get older and they won't be able to hear, and so then that's the last
That's
laugh.
right.
Yes.
That's when you swoop in. All right. You told me you're excited about this question. We finish this interview, and you step outside the office, and you find a lottery ticket that wins you $15 million. What are you doing with that money?
Yeah. So there's just a lot of organizations out there that probably could use some financial support like that.
Sure.
But some that I would seek out that are doing some very creative and unique things to help people. One is someone that we partner with at the Vested Group, Cheryl Jackson and Minnie's Food Pantry. That's just right down the street from us, and just what she's doing and her team to really meet the needs of the underserved and marginalized in the Plano area. Another example I think that's really a creative organization, and that's what Chad Hauser's doing with Cafe Momentum in Dallas that you probably know about, and just offering such a fine dining experience, but really focused on helping adolescent youth and not only teaching them a culinary experience and skill, but really how to make good decisions in life. I think that's just and one that I've just recently become acquainted with is a staffing company called Cornbread Hustle, started by and founded by Sherry Garcia, and she actually focuses on people that have struggled with addiction and also people that have been incarcerated, and offers employment opportunities for them as more of a second chance. So those are just some I think some examples of organizations that I would like to help support if I had that type of financial means to do so.
And And I can definitely, those are, first of all, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Secondly, like I could see how that, in a way could be for you because that makes you happy to help them. But you can't say there's not like a little sprinkled trip for Mike, like to Fiji in there somewhere, anything like that.
Paying off the mortgage.
We've been blessed to be pretty much debt free, and so we would probably set aside a little bit for the family, but I think really focus on helping others with that. So
Sticking true to his convictions.
I
I
know.
like it.
Fantastic. Yeah, learning about Cyril Jackson was just amazing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that story. Yeah, it's inspiring, and it also does a lot of good. So.
I'm glad you're able to make that. Yeah, we just again one of the many cool lunch and learns, another cool workplace traditions we have going on.
Yeah, that's one of the really educational, for broader than just work area. Yeah.
Love it.
So this might be a good one for you. If you could choose one song that played every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
all right, so I grew up with 70s rock, so there was probably a lot of those that would be my walk-up song. But and don't laugh at this, but the song that I would choose is "You're the One That I Want" from
Grease.
From Grease.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
And the reason is that was my wife and I's first date when that movie was
That's
released.
funny.
What a unique answer.
I know, and then everybody, that's a good song because like everybody would immediately start singing it too. You know, you'd have a lot of group interaction there.
I want to say like who doesn't know the words, but I'm like wondering, like I watched that movie a lot like growing up. I wonder if it's still popular today. I see it on Netflix every once in a while, so hopefully the younger generation is still watching it.
Yeah,
It's like,
I made my kids watch it.
I mean, that's
Do
just
my
good,
part.
that's just good parenting.
I
Right
know,
there.
exactly. They look at it like, wow, it's so, like, how can you even tell who the people are? And you're like, I don't know. It does look blurry now. I don't know how we did it in the past.
John Travolta's in that commercial. Have you seen him? He's Santa Claus in that new commercial recently with Samuel L. Jackson.
I've not seen it.
It's like he's unrecognizable. So you look at him in Grease, and now it's I guess that's just
Not fair. That's a few years, not necessarily fair comparison.
it's crazy. The fact that he's even playing Santa Claus. I'm sorry, I've lost. All right, if you were our CEO tomorrow, Joel, disappears. What's the first thing that you would do, Mike?
Chair massages.
Chair massages?
Oh man, just bring in a massage therapist a few afternoons each week. It would be one way to get people back in the office, probably. But
Mike, I don't know if I should tell you this, but we actually did do that at one point. Yeah, that was.
Was it right before 2017?
but seriously, the not that chair massages aren't a real suggestion, but I would. I really admire what Joel and the partners have done to build this company, and I certainly would just want to continue focusing on the culture and what they've really set as a base for the company, and just continue doing what they've been doing. So
Hold on to the legacy.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't fix what ain't broke.
try it.
So I like
That's
that.
a good answer.
It is. I can't argue with that. Well, Mike, I know firsthand I report to you at the Vested Group, so I know that you're busy, better than most people. And I want to thank you for your time coming out here and being on the show and talking to us and letting us know a little bit more about you.
Great. Enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of The Leadership. You can find out more about the Vested Group by going to thevested.com. If you want to see more episodes of more of our amazing people, you can find us on YouTube. Just simply search The Vested Group. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.